Hello Band World, and welcome to episode 6 of Stuff Band Directors Wish They Had Time to Teach. I'm Steve Bottom, your host, and today I am going to be talking about another complex subject, probably too complex for a 10-minute video, but that's just where the chips have fallen with what I've chosen to do here. I'm going to be talking about how to practice. Again, I've had people write in and comment, rightfully so, that some of these more in-depth topics that you should not really try to squeeze that into a 10-minute video. But then again, with what I'm trying to accomplish here, if you're a band director and maybe not aware of some of these topics and quite the depth I'm exploring them, or if you're a middle or high school trumpet player, especially a brass player in general, and you don't have access to a private teacher for whatever reason, rather than just kind of fumbling through the wilderness and hoping for the best, this at least gives you a starting point, some direction. And of course, anyone who sees these videos, I welcome any and all inquiries and comments. Please don't ever be shy about contacting me. If there's something that needs to be explained in more depth, I'm certainly glad to do so. Now, I was someone who got a lot better in middle and high school without necessarily practicing very much. I had a certain amount of talent that I kind of rode on, and I had an excellent private teacher, and the things he told me to do I would incorporate in my daily playing without necessarily practicing a lot. So I got a lot better, but certainly not as good as I could have been at that age. In fact, I didn't really start practicing seriously until my senior year of high school. Despite that, I've mentioned before, I was third chair All-State, and as a freshman in high school, principal trumpet after that. Part of that was, I guess, I didn't really feel a lot of pressing competition, where I felt I had to hit the horn diligently. By the same token, I grew up, not in the musical family. If this makes sense, it was a blue-collar neighborhood, but kind of affluent. People were accomplished tradesmen, but it was, I guess, more of a physical upbringing than purely intellectual, if that makes sense. I mean, my friends and I, we'd go out and we'd do wrestling and, playing football on asphalt, building bike ramps, with plywood and concrete blocks, and, I just threw myself into that wholeheartedly. And, at that age, I liked playing in band, like playing solos, but the last thing I wanted to do was, be sitting in my room practicing trumpet, when all my friends were out playing. So the thing is, I would constantly get scolded, you need to practice. And part of it also was that I kind of found practice boring because I didn't really know how to practice. I mean, it's like studying in school. Some people have a certain affinity for it, and some need to have it broken down for them, and I was definitely one of those. And it was finally my senior year that somebody was able to break that down for me. It was actually the gentleman I ended up studying with as an undergraduate. I got a few lessons with him my senior year. I mentioned him before, Vince DiMartino, who at the time was professor of trumpet at the University of Kentucky in my hometown of Lexington. And Vince was the first person I'd encountered who was able to break it down, just basically explain the nuts and bolts of how you practice, point A, point B, etc. And I'm going to share that with you today. Now, prior to that, I thought practicing was just playing through it. So I do that a couple of times. The good parts were good, the bad parts were bad, whatever, I'm bored, I'm going to go out and play ball. Vince's philosophy actually had a few elements to it here. One was his theory that the first part of a piece is always going to, or usually going to sound more prepared than the last, because most of us practice in that manner. We'll start at the beginning, play it through, done. So he would advocate, depending on the length of the piece, breaking it up into 2 sections, sometimes even 3 or 4 if it's a really long piece, and start at the last section first, you know, and so you'd play the last half or the last quarter, last third, however you break it up, of the piece, and then go back and hash through the first part. Now the obvious question is raised, well, doesn't that just reverse your problem and make the first part weaker? Well, no, actually it doesn't, because you're also going to do run-throughs, and in your run-through, where are you always going to start? The beginning. So so again, his theory was that you know, the beginning in that aspect largely takes care of itself, because you're going to, by virtue of run-throughs, be playing that more often. And in my experience, he was absolutely correct. Secondly, he taught me how to break things down as far as isolating individual part. You know, for instance, I'll do something with a Haydn trumpet concerto. I used to play it on E flat. I'm going to have to try to remember the B flat fingerings here. It's been a while. That run leading up to the concert E flat, or excuse me, concert E flat, is a problematic part for a lot of players when they're learning this tune, and especially if you're trying to hack through it on B flat, which is 4th higher than on the E flat trumpet. In fact, my not to get off topic here, but my high school, middle school trumpet teacher insisted that I not get an E flat trumpet, and that I learned to play the Haydn on the B flat, because when it did come time to learn it and perform it on E flat in college and beyond, I would be appreciative at how much easier it was. And he had a point. I'll put it that way. When I did get to playing it on E flat, I certainly did appreciate it more. But you know, he would say, you know, just isolate a bar. Let's say you're having trouble with the first part. You know, just play that bar. I mean, he's even had me during my undergraduate study, you know, just break down, you know, 1 beat. You can get as micro, I guess, as you want with the practice. And of course, always use a metronome. Believe it or not, you hear varying opinions on that. As far as run-throughs, I don't think you should do your run-throughs with a metronome, because at that point you're getting into performance mode, and we perform how we run through at that point. So at that point, you know, it's time to perform without a net, so to speak. But when you're still breaking things down and getting whatever under your fingers, absolutely use a metronome, even if you're using it slower than the tempo. And in fact, I advocate playing through difficult passages slower than the tempo. What you're doing is you're internalizing a steady beat, which you can then translate that to the quicker tempo. I may actually do a part 2 on this, the next video, because I can see that this is going to be, to do this topic justice, it's probably going to take 2 episodes. So for now, let me just do some general FYI and housekeeping here. I have decided that I'm not going to be doing episodes every single week. I'm going to take a break every 4th week. Believe it or not, I actually got the idea for that from Saturday Night Live, that early on, I think it was Lorne Michaels, is that his name? He decided that they just needed a chance to just kind of catch up and even get ahead, and it was just a courting disaster for them to come up with fresh material every week. So this is episode 6. There will be a break next week, and then 2 weeks from today, Thursday, I'll do another 3 episodes and then take a week off, and I think that's going to be the format I follow. So I really feel like I've kind of rushed through this. I apologize for that. I'll touch on it again more in a later episode, the next episode. In the meantime, if there's anything you would like to know or would like for me to clarify, please do not hesitate to contact me. You can contact me either through my YouTube channel, which this is on, or through Facebook, and I'm under my full name on Facebook, Stephen Kirk Bottom, and Stephen spelled with a PH. So until the next time, thank you for watching.